Have you ever stopped to think about the invisible rules running the tech you use every single day? Well, that's exactly what we're digging into today. The hidden ethics of artificial intelligence. And believe me, it's already all around us. To show you just how much, let's kick things off with a question. No, seriously, think about it. From the moment your alarm went off this morning, how many little choices were nudged, shaped, or maybe even made entirely for you by something that wasn't human? I'm willing to bet the answer is way, way higher than you think. See, AI isn't some sci-fi concept from the future. It's here, right now. It's the algorithm that decides what pops up in your social media feed. It's what's sorting your emails into spam or your inbox. It's your navigation app figuring out the best way to get you home. Heck, it might even be the system that decides if your resume ever gets seen by a real person. It's not just part of our lives. It's woven deep into the fabric of them. So what even is AI? Let's break it down real simple. At its core, it's just technology that can do tasks that usually need a human brain, things like spotting patterns or making a judgment call. But here's the crucial part about the AI we have today. It learns. It chews through mountains of data to find patterns, and then it uses those patterns to make predictions and decisions. Now that sounds incredibly powerful, right? And it is. But what happens when these systems, which are making decisions on a scale no human ever could, get it wrong? And sometimes, get it spectacularly wrong. This is where we hit a massive problem: bias. This quote is from an amazing AI researcher named Joy Buolamwini, and she stumbled upon a huge issue with facial recognition software in the most personal way possible. It literally couldn't see her face. As a Black woman, the system failed over and over until she physically put a plain white mask over her own skin. And what she found wasn't just some random glitch. Nope. Look at this data. When these commercial systems were tested, the error rates for lighter-skinned men were less than 1%. Pretty good, right? But for darker-skinned women, those error rates shot up to nearly 35%. That is not a small mistake. That's a fundamental systemic failure. So how on earth does something like this happen? Well, this kind of bias doesn't just come out of thin air. It gets baked right into the system from the very beginning. It can come from using training data that reflects our own history of injustice. It can come from simply not having enough data on certain groups of people. It can even create a nasty feedback loop, where a biased AI makes a bad decision, which creates more bad data, which in turn makes the AI even more biased. And all of this leads to a huge, thorny question. When one of these systems causes real harm, I'm talking about denying someone a job or a loan or fair treatment, who's responsible? Who do you blame? This right here is the accountability gap. A big part of the problem is something called a black box AI. With a lot of the most powerful AI today, we can see the information we put in, and we can see the answer that comes out. But the process in the middle, the why behind its decision, is a complete mystery. It's a black box, often even to the very people who built it. And that's the real kicker, isn't it? If nobody can actually explain why an AI made a harmful decision, how can we possibly hold anyone accountable for it? You can't fix a problem that you don't understand. And in the real world, this gets even messier. Just think about the supply chain. You've got one company that builds a huge, powerful AI model, then another company comes along and builds a product on top of that, and then a third company buys that product to use in their business. So when you, the user at the end of the line, get harmed, who's at fault? Everyone can just point their finger at someone else. The responsibility just evaporates. Okay, so the problems are pretty clear, right? Bias, black boxes, accountability gaps. It sounds like a mess, but it is not hopeless. Far from it. In fact, there's a really practical toolkit we can all use to start pushing for solutions. Let's walk through 5 pillars that can help us. Think of these as 5 key questions we should be asking about any AI system we use. First up, fairness. Is it actually treating all groups of people equitably? Second, transparency. Can we pop the hood and understand how it's making its decisions? Third, privacy. Is it a data hog, or is it only collecting what it absolutely needs to? Fourth, safety. Has it been properly tested so it doesn't go off the rails? And last but not least, accountability. Is there a clear answer for what happens and who's responsible when things go wrong? Now, you might be listening to all this and thinking, okay, that's interesting, but that's a job for the tech giants and the politicians. But that's not the whole story. If AI is impacting your life, and we've already seen that it is, then you have a stake in this. You have a role to play.
You actually have power here. As a consumer, you vote with your wallet. You can choose to support companies that take this stuff seriously. As a citizen, you can let your elected officials know that AI regulation is important to you. In your own job, you can be the person who asks the tough questions about the new tools your company is rolling out. And honestly, just by sharing what you've learned today with people you are raising awareness.
Because here's the single most important thing to take away from all of this. Technology is never neutral. Every single AI system out there is a product of human choices. The choice of what data to use, the choice of what goal to chase, what to value, and what to ignore. At the end of the day, AI is a direct reflection of our values. So, the last thought I want to leave you with is this. If AI is a mirror reflecting our world back at us, flaws and all, then it's on every single one of us to decide what values we want that mirror to show. What kind of world do we want this technology to help us build?